Okay, so we're checking out the BETAFPV X-Knight 35 in this video. So this is their 3.5-inch entry into this sort of space, this category. And they have obviously gone for the sub 250 audience or market. For those of you guys that were really upset about the diatone being over 250 grams and that the 3.5-inch, all the 3.5-inch quads that are ever going to be produced has to be under 250 grams, well, you'll be happy to hear that this one will meet your needs. Although I'm a little disappointed. I was kind of hoping that more of these vendors would create things that are not necessarily meeting the sort of target, that's arbitrary target, which is, in my opinion, kind of unenforceable and kind of useless. You're never going to run into a situation where security guards or cops are going to have scales and be checking how much your quad weighs and all that kind of stuff. So, in my opinion, that whole thing is kind of useless. It's just, a target, and I don't think that every quad needs to be like that. But again, we have another one here. If you're looking for other ones, I have a playlist that'll be down in the video description. The 3.5-inch playlist, it'll be the GetRC Smart 35, the BabyHawk 2 HD, and the diatone, and whatever else comes in the future. But, typical 3.5-inch design here. Nothing really spectacularly innovative about this design. You got basically the arms are split up into two skinnier arms to sort of take the brunt of abuse in terms of crashes. And that also does give the frame a little bit more stability in the air in terms of the pitch tune, less resonance. And it is a single bottom plate, as you can see here, 3 millimeters thick. But at this weight, unless you have a really, really bad crash, it should be fine. It does have landing feet there and little arm bumpers to protect the motor bells. Standard 1404 style size motors here. These are, what are these? 1404s, 3800 kV. All-in-one flight controller board there, obviously to save as much weight as possible. 20 amps, F4 flight controller. And this one only comes in DJI version. So Caddx there with the polar camera. No current analog version planned at this time. If you guys are interested in an analog version of this, please do leave some comments down in the description, or I'm sorry, in the comment box down below. And I'm sure BETAFPV will make a note of those people that are making those requests, but this is going to be the trend. I think we're going to see a lot more digital only specific models, and I'm totally cool with that. This version comes in plug and play with no receiver, and you get the Express LRS version, which is what you see here, and one with a Crossfire receiver pre-built in. So you can see the Express LRS has this is a 2.4 gigahertz antenna and 2.4 gigahertz receiver, and that's what I flew with. Flies great on Express LRS, no problems with their hardware. And I was, of course, using the BETAFPV transmitter module. I did add these little TPU mounts here for the Insta360 Go 2. They do recommend a 4S650, and with that, with no HD camera, it'll be well under 250 grams. But I flew with a 4S650 and the mount and the Insta360 Go, and you'll see that it's going to be right at the limit. It's going to be pretty close. And so just here's how much the drone weighs by itself, about 147. And then with a 654S 224, and then we throw on the Insta360 Go 2 right at 250, 250.9. So yeah, just a little bit over, but yeah, if you're looking to get some HD footage, or I guess in this case 2.5K 1440p footage from the Insta360 Go 2, this combination of parts here will get you right at 250. If there's cops or whatever stopping you and you're not under 250, I guess if you're going to get a ticket for a 0.9 gram violation, I suppose, if you're strictly sticking to all the limits. Yeah, taking a close look at the front here, you can see we have a little bit of TPU along with the carbon plates. This is to protect the camera, and it looks pretty decent. It looks like if you have a front crash there, you should have some pretty decent camera protection. And it looks like the carbon plates are also protected as well by the TPU, so they won't get chipped up. And then in the back, we have a mount for your cadex antenna and receiver. And you see the receiver is sort of wedged in there behind the standoffs along with the antenna. Kind of wish the antenna would go in the front, but I don't think you're going to be going super far with this anyway. Flight time is going to be somewhat limited if you're carrying around a Insta360 GoTo. I think on the 650 I was getting like around 5 minutes of flight time. And of course, if you're not carrying a camera, if you're putting on a bigger battery, of course, if you go over the 250 gram limit, your flight time can go way up. You know, if you put a giant 18650 4-cell battery in here, you're probably going to get anywhere between 12 to 15 minutes of flight time. But of course, you're going to be over the 250 gram limit for those of you guys that really care about that. But another thing is they come with, this thing comes with two different props. So there's a 3520 HQ prop and the 3520 gem fan prop. So they give you one set of each. I flew it with the HQ prop because I think this one is going to give you a little bit more efficiency, while the gem fan is probably going to give you a little bit more low-end torque power, more freestyle. So it that's my take on the two different props, if you're wondering. I think this one is a little bit lighter than the gem fan, so it'll spin up a little faster on this smaller motor. But if you have a bigger motor, that I would recommend getting the gem fan prop on the 3.5 inch if you have a bigger motor. There's also the Emax 3.5 inch prop as well. I didn't try that on this one either, but I think that one has probably the best power on the low end of the three props that I've flown. Okay, I think that's going to do it. Yeah, that's another 3.5 inch sub 250 model. Yeah, there's obviously a whole bunch of other ones out there. This one pretty much flies like I expect compared to the other ones with the 1404 motors. There's slight variations in the kV, slight variations in the design and weight. Go watch those other videos if you want to see all the little minor differences. Literally, the differences are very minor. They really do fly very similarly. This one does come with a pigeon out of the box. It seemed fine as well. I'll have the links to the narrated flight, the Insta360 Go flight, a DVR only flight, because I guess everyone keeps asking me, oh, I want to see this flight or that flight. And so I'm just going to link them all down in the description, each individually, so you can pick and choose what you guys want to watch. And those will be all down there in the video description. Okay, that's going to do it for this video. Talk to you guys in the next one.